is there some underlying tension that we don't see because we're not in the clubhouse as often as we used to be? And the almost, I think, probably close to 2 dozen people that Will and I talked to got very little of that. Like no one really said like, yeah, this team just does not get along. In fact, people went out of their way to say, even granted anonymity, like no, these guys get along. Like it's a pretty good mix in the clubhouse. I think one thing I took away was I think we as fans and even as reporters will look at it and say like, well, whose team is this? Which guy? Like, is Francisco Lindor the captain? Does Juan Soto being a superstar paid the amount of money he is? Does that threaten Lindor's leadership on any level? And the more people I talked to, the more I got like, it's a 26-man clubhouse. There's not one guy who
Right.
gathers the group and tries to get them going at certain times. You need good leaders across the clubhouse. The leadership mix wasn't bad, but it also didn't click on the same level as it did last season.
The players anonymously, still supported Carlos Mendoza and still believed in him, but did have some interesting things to say. One player had said the communication was not as sharp maybe as it was in 2024. And then a few others had mentioned they felt maybe Mendoza was panicking at times with some of the moves.
Mendoza has talked about communication. I think that was like the word he said the most in his introductory press conference: communication, connection with players. And he was really good at that in 2024, that there was kind of that, day-to-day communication. Guys knew whether they were going to be in the lineup or not, whether they're going to be used out of the bullpen, like how the pitching staff was going to work. And this year that didn't exist to the same extent. I think, again, like, I don't know that it could have. Like that, this lineup was not as set beyond number 4 on a regular basis. That line between like playing with the proper urgency or panicking too much, I think different people view it like where it is at a different point. And some people thought, you go back to a story we wrote last year about like why the Mets were able to hold it together. One comment we had was that Mendoza really stood by his players and he said to them consistently, like, I believe in you guys. You're going to get this. And they did ultimately. And this year, there were maybe some players where he didn't quite feel the same way about them. And so he was quicker to make changes.